What?
Wrong answer. Be nice. I'd hate to have to come back here.
What's up, guys? Spenny. In the Christmas classic Home Alone, Kevin McAllister shouts from his treehouse at the bloodied and burned and bludgeoned criminals, "You guys had enough, or are you thirsty for more?" Ladies and gentlemen, it is very similar at the White House between President Trump and Kaitlan Collins. Now, Donald Trump has always loved ribbing and roasting Kaitlan Collins of CNN, and virtually every day at the White House, as Kaitlan trots through her little press corridor asking sniping and snipping questions of the administration, the Home Alone scene plays out. Have you had enough, or are you thirsty for more? Because she just gets roasted on a regular basis, like when she tries to ask questions. "Excuse me, I didn't call on you." And when Trump does call on her,
the Supreme Court said someone needed to be returned, that you would abide by that. You said that on Air Force One just a few days ago, and they said that it must be facilitated.
Why don't you just say, "Isn't it wonderful that we're keeping criminals out of our country"? Why can't you just say that? Why do you go over and over? And that's why nobody watches you anymore. You know, you have no credibility. Please go ahead.
She tried to ask another question, and
No, not you. Not you.
and
Biden years ago. This should have never been allowed to happen. I know he's a friend of yours.
But couldn't Putin just withdraw his?
He's a friend of CNN. That's why nobody watches CNN anymore, because they have no credibility. Okay, who else? Yes, please.
and
Doing it very late because we were very foolish, as a country, very foolish, and we're doing it now. Well, that's a good one.
Mr. President, you won the White House in part because of high inflation. If your tariffs make prices go up...
Excuse me, we haven't asked you to speak yet, please. Right?
that's what we haven't asked you to speak yet. We haven't asked you to speak yet. Kaitlan Collins. It's really good. All right. So Kaitlan Collins was in the press briefing room today, and she got just bodied by Karoline Leavitt. But I'm just sort of setting up here that this is something that happens to her at the White House, like on a daily regimen. Now, President Trump was spitting bars this morning, talking about insurrectionists in places like Portland and Chicago, which is absolutely the way to describe it.
It's burning to the ground. You have agitators, insurrectionists. All you have to do is look at the television, turn on your television, read your newspapers. It's burning to the ground. The governor, the mayor, the politicians are petrified for their lives. And you have a judge like that, that judge ought to be ashamed of himself.
This is a judge that halted President Trump sending in the National Guard in order to protect friends like us, friends of us, like Nick Sotor, who was assaulted live on camera by Antifa again. I mean, like, how many times does this have to happen? And we're like amazed that Nick even is alive right now. God help him. We are so concerned for this guy's safety. He's not just a guy. He's like one of our friends. This is Nick trying to walk through the streets. And then look at this. Like Jabba Jedi sitting there trying to swing on him, and he does. You can see him try and punch Nick in the face there. And they attack Nick. These people are demons. Anyway, the city is at an absolute chaos. Leftist ICE protesters scream and spit in the face of federal officers. At least they found out this time. As you can see here, that this is something that is not a pleasant circumstance for federal law enforcement. There you go. Here we go. And the F around, and now the finding out. Thank you for finding out. There you go. Dude should be doing a hard time for sure. Overnight Antifa trashed. Cars. He was booked in jail for disorderly conduct. Allen says Portland cops unfairly targeted him while ignoring left-wing violence. That's exactly right. Anyway, speaking of ignoring left-wing violence, CNN has done a great deal of that. Here's Karoline Leavitt versus Kaitlan Collins.
Officials that you can point.
Absolutely savage. Kaitlan Collins like, there's no violence in Portland. Here we go. The playbook for 2020 all over again.
No local officials that you can point to that have said we need the National Guard. Because I spoke to the police chief of Portland last week. He said that the president's claims just don't match up with what's happening on the ground.
I would encourage you as a reporter to go on the ground and to take a look at it for yourself, because there's been many members of the press, not press in this room, but independent journalists, some of whom we'll be inviting to the White House very soon to share their stories, because they have been in the middle of these riots and they have witnessed the anarchy that is taking place night after night. It's on video. You should play it on your show. You have a great opportunity on prime time on CNN to show your audience. Yeah, but you're probably talking to partisan Democrat officials who are opposed to everything this president does. You should also ask the people who live in Portland. We've actually heard from many members of the community who have said that this is complete civil disobedience. It's a mess. It's been loud. It's been troubling for neighbors in the community who are just trying to live peacefully. And these people are not there to peacefully protest. They are there to cause mayhem and havoc.
How can you possibly take the position that Democrats are peaceful and that nothing bad is happening? Just got completely bodied. Yeah, you're talking to partisan Democrat officials who are opposed to everything that the president does. You should be showing your audience. Why don't you go to Portland, Kaitlan? DM me or come hang out. Be informed for once. We'll give her a tour in Portland. And he posts videos showing what's been going on and how violent things have gotten. Watching Karoline Leavitt skewer lib lapdogs and eat them for breakfast is entertainment television. What proof, Dan? Biden's signature. Done by Autopet. You're a reporter. You find out. Absolute savagery. Karoline Leavitt crushes Kaitlan Collins. Wouldn't be the first time that she did this on CNN. A reminder of that really exciting time that Karoline Leavitt got kicked off CNN airwaves for telling the truth. It's nice to have the power position at the White House, and no one can kick Karoline Leavitt off the press dais, I guess except for President Trump. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
It takes someone 5 minutes to Google Jake Tapper, Donald Trump, to see that Jake Tapper has consistently frequently likened President Trump to Adolf Hitler.
Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you continue to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
Yes.
If you are here to speak on his behalf, I am willing to have this conversation.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay.
Now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Karoline, thank you very much for your time. You are welcome to come back at any point. She is welcome to come back and speak about Donald Trump, and Donald Trump will have equal time to Joe Biden when they both join us now at later this week in Atlanta for this debate.